You don't suddenly ruin your life. You drift away from it, quietly, slowly, one ignored decision at a time, one excuse that sounds reasonable, one night choosing comfort over progress. And the dangerous part is that nothing feels wrong while it's happening. You're still functioning, still surviving, still telling yourself you have time. But time is the one thing you're running out of. There comes a moment, usually late at night, when the noise finally stops. No messages, no scrolling, no distractions. And in that silence, a thought appears that you've been avoiding all day. A heavy thought. The thought that you should be further ahead by now. The thought that you're capable of more. The thought that you're wasting something you can never get back. That thought isn't negativity. It's awareness. Most people try to kill that feeling. They drown it in entertainment. They bury it under sleep. They pretend it doesn't matter. But the feeling always comes back. Louder, heavier, more urgent. Because it's not trying to hurt you. It's trying to wake you up. You don't feel stuck because life is unfair. You feel stuck because you keep choosing what's easy instead of what's necessary. You feel stuck because you know what you should do, and you're not doing it. That gap between knowing and doing is where confidence dies. Every time you say you'll start and don't, you teach your mind a lesson. The lesson that your words don't mean much. The lesson that discomfort can control you. The lesson that quitting is always an option. Over time, that lesson becomes an identity. You become someone who plans more than they act. Someone who talks more than they execute. Someone who waits. Waiting feels safe. But waiting is expensive. The truth is, nobody wakes up disciplined. Nobody wakes up focused. Nobody wakes up confident and fearless. Those qualities are built through repetition, through boring effort, through showing up when it doesn't feel rewarding. And that's why most people never build them. You've been taught to chase motivation, to wait for inspiration, to look for the perfect moment. But motivation is unreliable. It depends on mood. Discipline doesn't. Discipline works when motivation disappears. Discipline works when you're tired, frustrated, bored, and unsure. That's why discipline feels heavy at first. You're not used to carrying responsibility. Right now, your biggest enemy isn't failure. It's comfort. Comfort tells you that tomorrow is guaranteed. Comfort tells you that skipping once won't matter. Comfort tells you that you deserve rest even when you haven't earned progress. Comfort makes you feel good now and weak later. Comfort never shows you the bill up front. Every habit you repeat is shaping your future, whether you acknowledge it or not. Every distraction is a vote for the life you don't want. Every disciplined action is a vote for the life you say you want. And here's the brutal truth. Your life today is not a reflection of your intentions. It's a reflection of your habits. You can lie to other people. You can lie to your family. You can lie to social media. But your habits never lie. You are exactly where your habits have placed you. That's not an insult. That's power. Because habits can be changed. But only if you stop pretending that you're confused. You're not confused. You're avoiding effort. Most people don't fail because they try and lose. They fail because they never fully commit. They live in the middle, half trying, half hoping, always preparing, never building. And the middle is the most painful place to live because you feel the pressure of unrealized potential every single day. If you want clarity, stop thinking and start moving. Clarity comes from action, not the other way around. The more you wait to feel ready, the longer you stay stuck. Action reduces fear. Inaction feeds it. The longer you delay, the bigger the task feels. The moment you start, the fear begins to shrink. That's not motivation. That's psychology. You don't need to change your entire life today. That's why you keep burning out. You try to become a completely new person overnight, fail, then convince yourself you're broken. You're not broken. You're impatient. Real change is slow at the beginning, quiet, almost invisible. And that's exactly why it works. Because it doesn't rely on emotion. It relies on consistency. Small actions, repeated daily, change identity. Identity is everything. Once you see yourself as someone who shows up no matter what, your behavior changes automatically. You stop negotiating. You stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for approval. You move. And when you move consistently, something strange happens. Your mind gets quieter. Anxiety fades. Confidence starts to appear. Not because you feel amazing, but because you're finally keeping promises to yourself. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Every time you finish what you start, you strengthen it. Every time you quit early, you weaken it. That's why so many people feel anxious for no clear reason. They don't trust themselves anymore. Their mind knows their words don't match their actions. Fix that and everything else improves. You will have days where nothing seems to work. Days where effort feels pointless. Days where progress is invisible. Those days are not signs to stop. They are the price of becoming someone stronger than your past. Every meaningful life has a boring phase, a lonely phase, a frustrating phase. And most people quit during that phase because they think something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You're just early. You're early in the process of becoming disciplined. Early in the process of becoming focused. Early in the process of building a life that doesn't require escape. But early feels uncomfortable. Early feels uncertain. Early feels slow. That's why most people never make it past early. You don't need more time. You need more structure. When your days are unplanned, your emotions control you. When your days are structured, your emotions follow your actions. Routine isn't boring. It's freeing. When you remove decision-making from your day, you save energy for what matters. You stop wasting mental power on "should I?" and start asking "what's next?" Life becomes simpler, not easier. Simpler. You'll feel resistance. That resistance is your old identity fighting to survive. Habits don't disappear quietly. They argue. They tempt. They justify. They whisper that one day off won't matter. It matters. Not because of the action itself, but because of the pattern it reinforces. Patterns shape lives. You don't need to feel inspired to act. You need to act to feel inspired. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates belief. Belief creates consistency. And consistency creates results. One day, without realizing it, you'll look back and notice that the things that once felt impossible are now normal. Waking up early. Working in silence. Staying focused. Ignoring distractions. That's not because you became special. It's because you became consistent. And consistency changes who you are. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards proof. Proof that you can show up when it's boring. Proof that you can stay disciplined when no one is watching. Proof that you can finish what you start. There will be moments where quitting would be easy and unnoticed. Those moments define everything. Because nobody sees them. Nobody judges you. Nobody knows. Except you. And you always know. That's why discipline builds pride. And avoidance builds shame. Even when no one else is involved. You don't need external pressure to change. You need internal standards. Standards that don't move based on mood. Standards that don't disappear when life gets uncomfortable. Decide what you expect from yourself. Then enforce it. Not aggressively. Calmly. Consistently. One disciplined day won't change your life. But disciplined days stacked together will. You don't need to be extreme. Extreme effort burns out. Consistent effort compounds. Small wins build momentum. Momentum builds identity. Identity builds destiny. One day, you'll realize the version of you that once felt out of reach is now your baseline. And you'll be grateful you didn't quit when it felt slow. When it felt lonely. When it felt boring. Because boring is where mastery is built. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The moment is now. Decide who you are. Then act like it. That's not hype. That's reality. And reality doesn't care how you feel. It responds to what you do. You don't destroy your future in one dramatic moment. You slowly trade it away. Quietly. Comfortably. One easy choice at a time. One excuse that sounds reasonable. One delay that feels harmless. And the most dangerous part is that life doesn't warn you when it's happening. There's no alarm. No collapse. No sudden failure. You just keep moving, thinking you're still on track. Until one day you realize you've been busy for years but haven't moved forward at all. That realization doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives in silence. Late at night, early in the morning, in moments where there's nothing to distract you. No notifications. No voices. Just you and the truth you've been avoiding. The truth that you should be further ahead. The truth that you've been playing small. The truth that your potential is quietly slipping through your hands while you tell yourself you'll take things seriously later. That feeling you get in those moments isn't weakness. It's awareness. Most people feel it and immediately try to escape it. They grab their phone. They turn on noise. They distract themselves until the feeling fades. But it always comes back. Stronger, heavier, more urgent. Because it's not there to hurt you. It's there to warn you. You don't feel stuck because you don't know what to do. You feel stuck because you keep avoiding what you already know you need to do. There's a massive difference. Deep down, you already have the answers. You know which habits are destroying your focus. You know which distractions are draining your energy. You know which actions you keep postponing. But knowing isn't enough. Knowledge without action becomes frustration. And frustration, repeated long enough, turns into self-doubt. That's how confidence dies. Quietly. Every time you promise yourself you'll start and don't, you weaken something inside you. Not motivation. Trust. You teach your mind that your words don't carry weight. That discomfort can control you. That quitting is always an option. And once your mind learns that lesson, it stops taking you seriously. That's why so many people feel anxious without knowing why. They don't trust themselves anymore. You weren't born this way. You trained yourself into it. Waiting feels safe. Waiting feels responsible. Waiting feels like preparation. But waiting is the most expensive habit you can have. Because while you wait, time moves forward without you. Opportunities don't pause. Life doesn't slow down. Potential doesn't wait for you to feel ready. And here's the truth most people never accept. Nobody wakes up disciplined. Nobody wakes up confident. Nobody wakes up focused and fearless. Those traits are built the same way muscle is built. Through repetition. Through resistance. Through doing things you don't feel like doing. That's why discipline feels heavy at first. You're not used to carrying responsibility. You've been taught to chase motivation, to wait for inspiration, to look for the perfect moment where everything feels aligned. But motivation is unreliable. It depends on mood. It disappears when conditions aren't perfect. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline works when you're tired. Discipline works when you're bored. Discipline works when no one is watching. Comfort is your real enemy. Comfort tells you that tomorrow is guaranteed. Comfort tells you that skipping once won't matter. Comfort tells you that you deserve rest even when you haven't earned progress. Comfort gives you relief now and steals from you later. Comfort never shows you the cost up front. Every habit you repeat is shaping your future. Every distraction is a vote for the life you don't want. Every disciplined action is a vote for the life you say you want. And the scary part is that these votes are counted quietly, daily, automatically. Your life today is not a reflection of your dreams. It's a reflection of your routines. You can lie to people. You can lie to social media. You can lie to your family. But your habits never lie. They always tell the truth about who you really are. You are exactly where your habits have placed you. That's not an insult. That's control. Because habits can be changed. But only if you stop pretending you're confused. You're not confused. You're avoiding effort. Most people never fully fail. They never fully commit either. They live in the middle, half trying, half hoping, always preparing, never building. And the middle is the most painful place to live, because you constantly feel the weight of unrealized potential pressing on your chest. If you want clarity, stop thinking and start moving. Clarity comes from action, not contemplation. You will never think your way into certainty. You act first, then clarity follows. Action shrinks fear. Inaction feeds it. The longer you delay, the bigger the task feels. The moment you start, fear loses power. That's not motivation. That's how the brain works. You don't need to fix your entire life today. That's why you keep burning out. You try to become a completely new person overnight, fail, and then decide you're broken. You're not broken. You're impatient. Real change is slow in the beginning, quiet, almost invisible, and that's why it works, because it doesn't rely on emotion. It relies on consistency. Small actions, repeated daily, change identity. Identity is everything. Once you see yourself as someone who shows up no matter what, your behavior changes automatically. You stop negotiating. You stop waiting for permission. You stop asking for approval. You move. And when you move consistently, something shifts inside you. Your mind gets quieter. Anxiety weakens. Confidence starts to appear, not because you feel amazing, but because you're finally keeping promises to yourself. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence.